Campbell's Soup, Coca-Cola, and also by Slug's Restaurants. And now, here's your host, John Kilgo.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Dean Smith Show. Coach, we have only one game to talk about that Carolina has played this week, but what a game it was. 80-58 win over Virginia.
It'd really be tough if this was a loss. We come on, we only have one game, show the highlights, and talk about the loss. So this is much better, and we're thrilled to have beaten the Virginia team that did come in undefeated. They had been at home a lot, but what surprised everybody, they went to the road and beat Duke at Duke, and that was unexpected, I think, by everybody. But we had some strange things happening in our league. Who would have thought Wake Forest could have gone to Georgia Tech and did what they did last Thursday?
Right.
So overall, we're just happy to have won, and I think we played well, and that's what makes me feel good, that we're improving, and I hope it carries over today against Seton Hall. But Virginia didn't play as well against us as they did against Duke, and it'll be awfully hard to beat them up there, but who knows, we may be able to do that.
Coach, it was obviously a very competitive game. The Smith Center crowd was great for the game, and your second half was just outstanding, wasn't it?
You know, the crowd really has been great in Chapel Hill. I think it happened when Sam Cassell talked about the wine and cheese crowd,
Right.
and our students didn't like that, neither did our older people, and so consequently, I'm sure they'll be welcoming him next Wednesday. But I do think the crowd was great. We played well in the second half. Our defense was very active, and Virginia's defense is different than ours, but very effective. They really jam things inside. They like to give up jump shots, and then they box out. So they're going to be, I think, a very good basketball team. We're going to be a very good basketball team. We have a lot of them in this league.
Well, there are an awful lot of highlights to show you. North Carolina against Virginia in the Smith Center. That was last Wednesday night. We'll come back with that right after this from First Union. In the Smith Center against Virginia, the Cavaliers were unbeaten coming in and had played some outstanding basketball.
Well, I think their win against Alabama at Charlottesville and certainly Stanford, they just dominated them. I think woke people up to say, well, maybe they don't miss Bryant Stith as much. But both Virginia and North Carolina, I think, lost great players. We lost Hubert Davis, they lost Stith, and then the rest coming back really all improved, and they have good team chemistry this time. So it started out being a great game.
Sure did. This was the Smith Center on Wednesday night, and as Coach has already said, a great crowd at the Smith Center for the game. North Carolina versus Virginia, and Carolina basketball highlights are brought to you by Gatorade. And, Coach, we got a lot of good basketball to show the people.
Well, we moved well against that very good defense of Virginia to see how they jammed, but Henrik Odelstar got a nice pass from Brian Reese for the three, and the crowd was really up. Watch this rebound. There's George Lynch at it again. But seriously, I think the crowd felt like it's an undefeated team we're playing, and therefore they're a little more active. Getting it, Donald moved it nicely to Pat Sullivan. Pat's an excellent three-point shooter. When he said he should shoot more often from there. There's Eric setting a screen. We got to get better in our screening game, but of course Donald, that's his one field goal, but it was a nice one, and he leaned in on Parker and got Cornell, who's a very good defensive player, in foul trouble. I like this burst out by Donald. What a great pass from Henrik Odell to Kevin Salvadori. He knew he was open, and he just got in the ball as soon as he touched it. He has good vision. Kevin, I don't see how he made that one. Looked like they were all over him. Eric found an open. Pat moved it quickly to Henrik. Henrik makes a tough layup here. He can drive. I told the team we watch this tape, those two shouldn't leave till they know it's going to go in. What a great play on a trap. And Brian Reese read it beautifully, and Doug Smith kept it from being a layup. Doug, been to our camp for many years. I really respect that young man. Here we are Brian's going to get it into George. George turnaround over Junior Burrow. Junior is a very quick athlete. He had trouble shooting the ball against Carolina and Duke, but he is a good shooter. We got to move faster than that. It's good. We're looking to screen. George Lynch drives on his own again, beating Junior and getting the basket. What a great pass there from Lynch to Salvadori. And actually, George had come up. I forget who gave it to George. Kevin coming up in traffic. Donald Williams making his move. Open Henrik Rodel. He gets set. Henrik's a very good three-point shooter. We take a lot of threes, and over the course of the season, Henrik's about as good as anyone both years, last year and this year. Assist from Eric Montross. They are really jamming Eric. Good help by George Lynch. There again, he walked there, and we agreed with the officials. Donald's going for last shot of the half, getting it into Eric, and then they came back and got a shot. There's 12 seconds left, but didn't make it.
32-25, the Tar Heels led the Cavaliers at halftime. And we'll come back and show you second half highlights after these messages.